you get in trouble if you say USA, USA. By the way, if you're a new listener, I'm not joking. It'd be like if 10 years ago I went on the radio and said, yeah, the TSA they're putting in the airports, that's a federal power grab, they're going to start grabbing your genitals. No one would believe that. They'd be like, you know what, buddy, that's crazy. You've gone too far. Now it's like, yeah, what's the big deal? Oh, they go in the pants. Yeah, that's freedom. But what am I getting at? I grew up, born here in Texas, and grew up going down across the border to go sightsee, to go buy hats, sombreros, whatever, knives, bullwhips, just fun stuff you want when you're a kid, arrowheads, stuff like that. And I have been, in the last 5-6 years, down to a few of those places. It looks like a war zone. Once vibrant border towns on both sides are hellholes with everything boarded up. There are rocket attacks. There are newspaper people being killed on both sides. There is total fear. And our criminal government doesn't care because it's shipping the guns down to Mexico to further destabilize things. And the border region now is basically Mexico. And I see articles like this. Gun battle in Mexico forces U.S. to shut down 2 border crossings. Well, actually, when I was down by the border last year, I went down to South Padre, it was in the newspaper that there were gun battles, outside the high school football game. Well, it turned out it was actually in the parking lot. And there were Mexican troop helicopters over on the U.S. side. And again, this is just going on every day now. And there are lakes that border Mexico, and you see the cases where a husband and wife are out on jet skis, and Mexican drug cartels shoot and kill the husband, and the national media says, shut up, woman, your husband drowned. Because there's no violence down there. I mean, this is a perfect PSYOP example of where you got a better chance of dying. Look up the statistics. Scientific American even did a report on this 2 years ago. It's where we got a lot of our numbers. Champagne corks, bee stings, I talk about this ad nauseum. Slipping and falling, are just many times more dangerous than terrorism. But you would believe it was the end of the world. No, it's just a federal power grab. That's all that's going on here. Meanwhile, it's over 40,000 dead now in the last, almost 4 years. On the Mexico side, it's over 2,000 on our side. That's huge. That's war level. We were losing, 2,000 troops a year in Iraq. We're losing more than that, and it's not even on the radar because they don't want you to be scared of something real. They don't want you to be concerned about a real security threat because they're going to use this to merge the entire continental security perimeter, as they said 4 years ago in the North American Union SPP documents. But here's CNS News. Gun battles in Mexico force U.S. to shut down 2 border crossings. Several gun battles between Mexican military forces and drug traffickers prompted U.S. authorities, same one shipping guns into Mexico, to temporarily shut down 2 international bridge crossings on the southwest border last week. The 2 bridges are located at the U.S. Customs and Border Protection Port of Entry in Eagle Pass, Texas, connecting Eagle Pass, Texas to the Padres Negras in Mexico. And it just goes on. And this is all in the local newspapers. But this is not in the national news unless it's CNS News or Drudge Report or Infowars. It's just not being discussed. It doesn't exist. Who has covered that impeachment proceedings, that legislation that if Obama continues to launch wars without congressional approval, that impeachment's going to be triggered? You'd think that'd be a top news story. It has never been anywhere but Infowars.com from day one, Drudge Report from day one, and then WorldNet Daily. And every day I keep doing a search. I found some little gazette in a small town, some small town paper did a story on it. I'm checking with a Google search every newspaper in this country. Every day going, come on, this has got to become a news item. We've got to force this out there. Now, we are forcing the story out there. It's been forced on a talk radio. It is being discussed. It is a big buzz in the military, big buzz in Congress. But it's like you got one world that's on the internet that knows this stuff's going on, and then you've got people who do not know anything. They don't know the branches of government. They don't know about the Constitution, and they think you're a weirdo if you want to know about this stuff. They think fashion or sports is paramount. And I know as listeners, you know this. I know you know this before you ever heard my radio show. People have always marveled at how some people don't care or don't want to be involved. But those out there that do brush up against this show or other shows like it, you need to understand there's a reason our economy's falling apart. There's a reason corruption's at all-time highs. There's a reason we're losing our optimism. And it's because you can't have freedom if you do not have an informed population. And people are like, duh, no kidding, Sherlock. Look, I know that seems really simple. If you don't have liberty, you're not going to have prosperity. If you don't have liberty, then you do not have freedom. And you're like, yeah, liberty's freedom. Look, a lot of people don't get that. They're like, I don't care if the government gets rid of our rights. I have nothing to hide. Really, do you think, say, a German or a French, what was Gaul, 2,200 years ago, when the Romans were first starting to make forays into those areas to get slaves and gladiators and the rest of it? I mean, you think somebody fishing in, say, what's Gaul today or what's Austria today? Do you think somebody fishing when a bunch of Roman soldiers come marching over the hill, do you think they did anything wrong? Do you think they... No, people want to enslave you. They want to kill you and grab your women and haul them back over the hill and take them back to Rome. And that's the point. People need to get this through their heads. And I'm talking to new listeners here. Just because you don't have something to hide, that, oh, go ahead and take my privacy, go ahead and make me guilty until proven innocent, that idea is slavery. That idea is the end of our society. People say, oh, defend America. Oh, Alex, America's under attack. We got to give our rights up. What is America? I mean, America's not had a perfect history, but compared to others, it's been the benchmark in freedom. And that's what America is. It's a set of ideas and a culture and a system. And because we were so free, we developed the wealth. And so the powerful interests came in and took control because we were the biggest, baddest thing in town. Does he want to go now? Is he on the phone? What does he want? He can give us 30 minutes, right? Let's do bottom of the hour. Bottom of the hour. We're doing producing on the air, which is good. Hey, come on in here, Chris. Because that's an interesting point. Because he'd said 5 minutes, and would you call him back? He's happy either way.
Either way.
I don't care. Well, what's his preference? What's his preference? Yeah, let's not have it all broken up with breaks. So he's happy at 33 after?
Absolutely.
Let's just get him on then. 33 after. Good job. I don't know. It just seems like common sense. I mean, why would police want to stomp on people's rights when those are your rights too? Why would bureaucrats get off on bossing people around? I mean, do you want to live in a country where people act like that? I mean, this is your country too. I mean, what did Fred call it? And I hate to use potty humor here, but it's the only thing that works. Don't pee in the pool, man. I mean, sometimes I go to public pools and stuff when I'm out of town or whatever, where I see a pool pull up. And you see everybody, you can tell when they're peeing in the pool, they got that look on their face. And they'll look at you when you get up, go to the bathroom inside, like you're kind of, ooh, look, he's a weirdo. He's going in there to pee. And I'm looking at you going, look, I know you're peeing in the pool. I watched you swim around for an hour, and you got that look on your face, that satisfied look.
You don't need me to tell you that humanity is...
We are back. Bob Barr, former congressman, who's been fighting the TSA, is going to join us, give us a report on where their operation is going. I mentioned this earlier, whenever I had the one, the only Jim Mars on with us, but we were covering so many topics so fast, we didn't spend a lot of time on it. We've got a big video coming out this afternoon that I want to go viral. You know, you never know what's going to go viral. I shot like 4 videos over the weekend. Just when I get mad, I shoot a video and upload it to the YouTube channel. And all total, they have like 1.5 million views. You know, one of them's got like 600 and something thousand by itself. Because I tend to get focused when I'm alone or just at home with the family. Because I get in the office and there's the crew and facts and things coming at me. And it's fine. It's just that I can really more cogent walking around in the woods with a little video camera. But we have a report we shot yesterday that Aaron stayed up most of the night putting together that's going to go up. I don't know the title of it yet, but it deals with the huge African invasion and all the proof of that. And I think Aaron's spitting it out right now. I wonder if he had time to add this. I wish, by spitting it out, the computer's now rendering it, which is one of the longest processes. But my problem is when we're so right so often, we don't ever toot our horn properly about how right we've been. Not so, oh, look, I'm smart, but so people understand we know what we're talking about. I've noticed there's a COINTELPRO operation, because I've tracked it to sock puppet accounts and other things on Infowars, and it's similar deal on YouTube. I can go, look at their channels and their history and search the names. And I've done it, just to study how the globalists operate. They have both hired PR people, but then they also have actual just software systems that do it, and that's on record. But it's like Alex Jones, nothing he said ever came true. And they're like, he said there'd be war in Iran. It never happened. Well, if you think bombs going off every week, military bases getting blown up, and people being assassinated, and magnet bombs being thrown onto cars, and the media admitting that a proxy war is going on. I guess, I said a bunch of wars were coming in the Middle East about 2 years ago, and it'd be proxy wars from documents. They're like, that never happened. Really, you don't think Libya? You don't think Egypt? You don't think Syria? You don't call those wars through proxies? I told you the Arab Spring was staged because it was staged on record. Google, which I told you was run by the NSA, that's now admitted. The head of the NSA runs Google now, the former head. And so there's always this spin like, Alex, what came true? Well, world government, well, that it would be run by mega banks, well, that they would start openly saying they were going to drug the water. Well, that happened too, but what else? That they'd start using military on the streets, that they'd start saying the UN commanded the military, okay, that they'd start disarming the troops around officers, oh, that's happening, well, you were right there again, that the government brings in the drugs and was shipping the guns into Mexico 6 years ago, I told you, and would blame the Second Amendment for it, then that all got leaked. Okay, you were right about that, but Alex is never right about anything. Do you think it was fun day one coming out and saying 9/11 was an inside job and losing 70+% of my affiliates because I wouldn't shut up? No, but it had to be done. And, it's one of my most valuable accomplishments is that I could care less about being popular or how much money I was making, that it was about, I'm going to tell the truth. That's what has value.